Hello, everybody.
Hi,
if
friends.
you've been hanging out while we're waiting for the stream to go live, we were just trying to get it in sync with Twitch. It's a little bit unknown as to whether that's happening, but we're going live anyway because you know why?
The show must go on, man.
Absolutely, that is correct.
Hello, friends.
I
Hi.
am Josh Greenway.
I'm still Mike Gincel.
We're here at the 2017 North American Scrabble Championship.
Wait, really?
This is NASPA Tonight.
It is?
It's a wrap-up show where we're going to
goodness.
look at standings, and we've got a great feature interview tonight.
Oh, yes, we do. We have three-time national champion.
Absolutely.
And we have a New York Times bestseller, author of the book Word Freak. I know that's backwards probably or not. I don't know.
No, it should be good.
Stefan, Fatsis, and Joe Edley will be joining us later on in the studio.
That's right. And first, we've got some big news.
Oh,
Mike,
don't we do?
hit it.
So we are happy to announce that we are going into our standings for the next few rounds. So we are into round 28. And we have our U.S. national champion for Division I who has clinched with 4 games.
We've got a winner.
NASPA Tonight is happy to announce that in Division I, Will Anderson from Croton, New York, has clinched with 23 wins, 5 losses, plus 995. Mac Meller is in second place with 19-9 plus 1632. And Alex Tajome, who has been in the top 3 for most of the time, is third, 19-9 plus 778. So Alec and Mac will be battling out for second and third.
Yep.
Also in the heat for the top 5, we have Rafi Stern, who is 18-9 plus 585, and Ben Schoenburn with his 18-10 plus 552. Nigel Richards, unfortunately, did not capitalize on his wins earlier today. He is in 8th right now. So we should see an interesting few days for the next tomorrow, the last day. But Will has won.
For sure. And that is the big headline, is we have our national champion for the North American Dictionary. We've got Will Anderson. He's going to be joining us in a minute.
Will Anderson
There is a lot of excitement in the hall. He's going to join us in a minute for a minute. And how would you describe the atmosphere?
I mean, when there's a Will, there's a way. I mean, I am so happy for Will. Will's been a friend of mine for a little bit. Will, I told him in Atlanta last year in our tournament, I said, I expect you to win nationals very, very shortly. And
that day has come.
It has come for Will. We are so excited
today.
for him.
There were literally people running around and just so excited.
People are crying.
Absolutely. So
someone's playing Queen over there.
That is fantastic. So we'll have Will here in just a minute. Why don't we
go on?
Let's go over to what are we doing?
Division 2.
Okay.
Division 2. Wes Eddings has made his move.
Oh, finally!
Robin Lewis has dropped out. Unfortunately, not dropped out of the tournament. Dropped down to like 5th or 6th place.
Okay.
Wes Eddings in first place, 21-6 plus 1619. Joe Elkins, who is, I don't know where Joel came from West Hollywood. He's in second, 20-8 plus 1301. And Pat Gabbery is 19.5, 8.5. So we have a different top 3, but Wes is holding on quite a good spread. Very, very good for Wes.
Okay, and I'm just going to reset because we are live up on Twitch. This is NASPA Tonight. We are broadcasting live from the 2017 North American Scrabble Championship. You may be able to hear some noise in the background. That's because on day 4 of a 5-day event, we have named our champion.
Yes, and it is Will Anderson from New York, Division I winner. Will has won it with a 23-5 record with 3 games remaining. Nobody can catch up to Will. It was Will's day, and when there's a Will, there's a way.
And there is a lot of excitement in this hallway.
People are freaking the ever-loving freak out people. We have people just piled over there.
They're mobbing him. So let's carry on with the standings, and then we'll get Will in here, and we'll go on to our feature interview.
Should we redo Division 2?
No, let's go to Division 3.
Division 3. We have right now, I believe, that Jack Peters is 2.5 games ahead on the field. So one more win will have Jack Peters, who has led the entire. I think most of the time Jack Peters has led it.
Yes, he has.
Jack is 23-5 plus 1990. Cooper Komatsu is 20.5, 7.5 plus 1819. So Cooper could, if he wins all 3, if Jack falls at the very end, Cooper could take it. Sandra Post, who has been in the top 3 for most of the time here, is in third, 19-9. He unfortunately cannot catch Jack, so we'll see. It's between Jack and Cooper.
It's just, there we go. So let's go to the next division.
Division 4, we were hoping, at least me personally, for Lindsay Barra to take it. Lindsay is not in the clear yet. She is 3 games ahead, 22-6 plus 12-18. We have Charlie Williamson, 19-8 plus 15-87. So Charlie can catch up. If Charlie wins all 3, if Lindsay falters on the last day, Charlie can take it. 19-9 is Rebecca Nance, plus 11.99. It looks to be that Charlie's win-loss. Excuse me, I just refreshed. We have an update. Charlie's at 20.
Okay.
So Charlie won his last game. He is 2 games behind Lindsay. If he loses 1 and Lindsay wins 1 tomorrow, for example, he must win all 3 to clinch it, or it will be Lindsay Barra to win.
Okay, let's cover the big dictionary.
Collins 1. It is a fierce battle, honey. It is getting heated up in here so hard. We have Dave Wiegand in first place. 20-8 plus 1974. We're just trying to get
so we've got who's in first?
Dave Wiegand, to no one's surprise.
There we go. We were waiting for that to happen.
Dave Wiegand is 20-8 plus 1974. Austin Shin, one of the favorites, is 19-8 plus 11.27, and Joey Kravchik is in third, 18-10. Joey the K, third place, 18-10 plus 7.78. We also have to make note of Bradley Whitmarsh, who is in fourth, who has climbed up very quickly, 18-10 plus 6.36. So, Dave, Austin, Joey, and Bradley. Our 4 remaining players.
So, here we go. We've got a surprise guest.
Wait, what about Collins 2?
We will get to Collins 2 after we take the special guest. We'll get there. Slide over.
It's Collins 2. Who is it? Who's here? Who's here? Who is it? Is it Beyonce?
Here we go. It's the Beyonce of Scrabble, the 2017 National Scrabble Champion, Will Anderson. How does it feel?
Thanks, Daryl. It feels pretty amazing. I kind of was not anticipating this coming in, although I guess, it's as likely as anybody except Nigel or whoever else. But I was just not trying to think about this actual moment until it happened, and it feels amazing.
I would like to say, though, Will Anderson, first off, congratulations. Very happy for you. I'd like to remind the viewers and you yourself that last year in the Atlanta airport, after our Atlanta tournament, I'd said, we're going to see you in a year or 2 with the win. And
good prediction.
You owe me $10 at least, man, or at least a nice steak dinner with that $10,000.
I don't know when that's coming, and I'm not sure what my plans are with that money, but I guess a steak isn't out of the question. So,
rock on, yes.
Good prediction. I think this is the kind of thing where the more you focus on the process of I'm going to be the winner, I have to do this to win, instead of individual games, the less likely you are to actually win. Thanks, Stefan.
Stefan Fatsis over there.
Kissed by the author of Word Freak on the head. Does it get any better?
By the gods.
Amazing. Well, just a huge congratulations.
Congratulations.
The buzz is all around here in the hallway. You were being mobbed just a second ago. This is fantastic. There are a lot of people who were hoping for this, who were waiting for this.
That means a lot. That means a lot to me to know that people were hoping that I would win, and that I have, I guess for lack of a better word, supporters, fans, people that were happy to see me succeed. It means more to me than it would otherwise to know that I have people behind me and people that helped me get to this point. There's so many that, I learned from so many of the players that I competed against at this tournament, and I wouldn't be there without them. So
absolutely fantastic.
It feels great.
We don't have Gatorade, so this will have to
Nice. And it was the tally slip dump. Will, though, congratulations. We are so happy that you are our new champion. It's been a long time coming. We knew it would be coming eventually for you. What do you have to say to any of the viewers at home that are watching, all tens and tens of them, and all your fans and supporters here at the convention center?
Well, I would just say thanks for following along. It's nice to know that there's an audience, and I hope you enjoyed the games. And I also know I'm not a perfect player, so don't think I have any illusions that I didn't make any mistakes or I'm the perfect player. I just happened to be victorious at this tournament.
I'm going to ask you one more question. What does the game of Scrabble in this community mean to you?
It means an incredible amount. Basically, I can trace the inflection point of my life getting considerably better and happier to the introduction of Scrabble. It's been just a total life changer. So many of my best friends I've met through Scrabble. It's just a wonderful community. It's one that I'm really proud to be a part of, and I have no plans to change that anytime soon. So
Wonderful.
I don't think we're going to do any better than that. Congratulations, Will. Awesome job.
Well played, Will. Congratulations.
For sure. Thanks so much. Go party it up. All right.
Wow. Well,
there's the excitement. Let's get through the rest of the standings.
Yes.
Or go ahead. Reflect on what we just did.
Okay, well, Collins 2 is our last Division 2 check reports in. Very close in our division right now. Personally, good day for Mike Gincel, the last place queen of Division 2. Collins tied for the first time, from a great, wonderful, magnificent player to absolute garbage. I'm just kidding. 2.5 wins today, but right now we have a shocker for the top 3 for Collins, though.
Where are we at?
Toby Rowland's in first place, 21-7, but we have a spoiler. I cannot pronounce his name. He's such a sweetie. His name is Bharat Balakrishnan. He is in second place. He snuck up out of nowhere.
Wow.
19-9. I had close games with Bharat and Toby. Toby is not out of the woods yet. We have Randy Goldberg in the top 3 at 18.5 wins. She is 3.5 wins behind Toby, so unfortunately it's not on the cards for Randy, but what a strong performance from Miss Goldberg. We have Toby and Bharat in the top 2, and unfortunately Greg Feldkamp could not connect on his last 3 games. I just talked to him earlier. Wonderful guy. He is 18-9. He is unfortunately out of it. So it's down to Bharat. I'm hoping to pronounce his name right. And Toby for the very first winner of Collins 2. Finish to the very end.
Does that mean that you're going to have to pay for more than half of the room?
No. Greg's already paid in full. Thank goodness.
That's just a joke.
It's very good. Not all of them land. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding with you. Josh Greenway, everybody. What a friend. All right. But we're really happy for Toby. Toby is very good player. I lost him by 9, so I feel partially responsible that he's going to win. Because I lost him by 9. He's a great player. Bharat is going to be the underdog for sure.
Gotcha. Well, that is amazing. We got a chance to do the interview with Will.
Oh, my goodness.
Now we're going to move on to the feature interview.
Shut up.
Okay? So I am going to take over the questioning, and then once we...
So that means I'm fired? Hashtag save Gincel. Hashtag Winsel for the Gincel. Come on.
So here's what we're going to do.
Riot, viewers, riot.
We're going to have Joe take this seat, and then if you can get Stefan to come take your seat, then we're going to get going with the feature interview.
All right, then. Well, it's been fun the past 4 days. I don't know if I'm back tomorrow. I doubt it because I'm pretty sure I'm fired. But being the Brian Dunkelman of NASPA Tonight, if you get that reference, 10 spread points for you at a future tournament. It's been fun.
That's what I want to say. It's just been a real pleasure, and you bring an energy and passion to Scrabble. It's awesome.
And all I have to say is, girl, bye.
All right.
Take care, NASPA Tonight.
Let me take care of that. So we are going to bring in Joe and Stefan. Yeah, he's right there. So come on in here, Joe. And we're going to give this mic to Stefan when he gets here. And then you and I are going to share a mic. So Stefan, you're going to take that mic. And I would like to introduce everybody watching we're on multiple Facebook channels across the ocean, Scrabble snippets, NASPA, all that stuff, but also the Twitch feed. So we got lots of people watching. I want to introduce 2 very special people from the Scrabble community to all the viewers out there. This is Joe Edley, a 3-time national champion, and this is Stefan Fatsis,
a 0-time national champion,
but a New York Times best-selling author of the book Word Freak. I don't want to cut anybody's face off. Here, I'll cut my face off. And Joe, of course, is a featured character or featured focus point of the book. That's why we're bringing the 2 of you together. So it's great to see you guys. How are you doing? Stefan?
In life,
Today,
Life is
how does
great.
it feel? Okay.
I'm happy to be here. My record is 15-13 in Division 2.
Joe, how are you doing?
Well, in the tournament, I'm doing just fair, below fair this time, 14-14. But I'm having a lot of fun. And, I'm not the player I was years ago.
Sure.
Well, I can be. It's just that for the last 4 months, I have put no effort into Scrabble. No studying, no playing. So I'm not super surprised that I haven't done as well as I normally do.
Well, that describes my game for the last 5 years. So here's what I want to say is that many of the people who are in the hall tonight, and I'm not sure if Will fits into this category, but there are many, many members of the word freak generation. And that is really this story that both of you, feature in, and you, of course, wrote it, is also what brought me to Scrabble, and it's just a moving story, obviously, and there are tons of fans here. So here's what my question is. I'm going to start with Stefan. After you wrote the book, you went on to write other books, obviously, but you stuck with Scrabble.
Right.
Tell me about what Scrabble means to you, what this community means to you, and, how Scrabble impacts you and your family.
Scrabble changed my life. Joe helped change my life. I came into this as a pure novice living room player / journalist who thought there was an interesting story to be told about this world. There had been a great Sports Illustrated article written in 1995 that I had read, and I was working at the Wall Street Journal at the time. I was looking for a good story. I thought there might be something there, and I fell down the rabbit hole incredibly quickly. And I want to go back to something you said before I lose that train of thought, which is the thing that has given me the greatest pleasure and the most happiness about having written this book. This book has done okay. Authors don't get that many cracks at it, at being successful and reading something that has an effect on people, regardless of how small the world is or how isolated the world is. But the thing that I'm proudest of is what you said, that people, 50, 100, I don't know how many people in this room are here today because they happened to read a book, it spoke to them, and it helped them walk toward this subculture. And Will was kind of one of those people. Will Anderson was playing competitive Boggle, or playing for fun. Yeah. And you could play, he would go together once a month with a bunch of Boggle players. And someone said, "Oh, you'd be good at Scrabble." He said he had already read Word Freak. He went to a club and immediately realized this is where he needed to be.
You need to tell people, though, that you became an expert in like a year.
Well, it was more like 4, but whatever.
Well, from the time I met you, it seemed like it was only a year. You did awfully well.
Well, thank you.
I know I pushed you.
You did.
Sometimes to your dismay, but you did really well.
Well, thank you. It's a narrative. The book is about me. And me entering this weird subculture and finding these wonderful people like Joe Edley and other characters and other people that I wrote about. So it's a story, and that was my goal. Lots of people wander into Scrabble from newspapers and TV stations and magazines and spend a weekend watching a tournament and talking to the best players and then go write something. I wanted to immerse myself. For me, journalism is about experiencing something. And I could have walked away, right, Joe? I wrote this book. It did pretty well. People read it. It got some attention. But I belong in here, too. And even though I'm never achieved the kind of success and I didn't have the sort of internal brain chemistry that allowed me or the will to continue studying at the pace that I was studying when I wrote the book to learn more words.
But you have your daughter now.
But now my daughter, who was 0, and I wasn't even going out with my current wife when I was reporting and writing Word Freak.
Yep.
And now I've got a 15-year-old girl who is playing in her 4th national championship. has finished 4th and 8th and 16th or something. She's finished in the top 10 in a bunch of school Scrabble championships, and I get to share this with my daughter, and what could be better than that?
It's amazing. And I want to pick up on something that you said, which are Joe's accomplishments. So, Joe, you have the 3 national champions, really, one of the greatest Scrabble players ever.
In 3 different decades, by the way.
Absolutely. Incredible. What is it about this game and this community that keeps you rolling with Scrabble?
Well, there are a lot of different things. Big thing are the people. Finding people who like words and who like to unscramble words from, a jumbled list of letters, and then talk about them and to make jokes and to share their stories. This happened, and all throughout the tournament, you're sharing stories with other people on the great things and the terrible things that happened over the board. So that's one aspect. And the other aspect is Scrabble. You don't have to be a genius to be a good player. It helps, but you don't have to be. Anyone can walk in off the street, learn a few words, and just with some common sense and with a little bit of a lesson or two, become a really good player. And so it's kind of appealing from that standpoint to anybody.
Right, and that's what makes it so open to so many people. We all love puzzles, right?
Right.
If you like puzzles, if you love language, and that is a prerequisite, even though players are learning words that we're not going to use in daily life a lot of the time. But that's beside the point. Language is fungible. It has been used to create puzzles and tease the brain for centuries, thousands of years, millennia. And there's something very human about the desire, the ability to take these representations of language, letters, and mix them up and solve a riddle. I mean, Joe once described it to me as it's a puzzle on every rack, and you have to approach the game at one rack at a time, 7 letters at a time.
Yeah, the other thing is it actually playing in Scrabble tournaments and clubs actually teaches emotional maturity. You cannot stay at the game unless you learn to control your emotions. Playing in a long tournament like this, 31 rounds, it's like a wave. It goes up, you get elated when you win a few games, and then suddenly your tiles drop and your opponents are getting all the scores, and you're losing a few games. If you don't know how to control that, then you're not going to last. Yeah. But the challenge is that you learn that by controlling it, learning how to become okay with that, actually makes you happier and makes you able to handle anything that happens in your life. I mean, it goes across the board.
And that really is amazing advice, and I think that's why for some of us, even though we're not necessarily high flyers, we just get so much value out of this game, out of the experience, out of the people. I want to follow up with you, Stefan, about Chloe. You get
kids from Washington and Maryland and Virginia and Philadelphia and North Carolina. But what could a father ask for more than his child to embrace without pressure something that he loves? And she understood the game intuitively when she was 7, 8 years old. She started playing in our local club when she was about 9. She played in her first competitive tournament against adults when she was 9. She gets it. And the fact that I was lucky enough that she came out with a brain that allows her to get something that I want to keep doing for the rest of my life, that I get to share with her and travel all over the country and room with her and be with her and compete with her at home, and someday I imagine compete with her in here at a national championship. It's the greatest thrill of my life.
That's amazing. I wanted to, and I'll tell you, with that kind of emotion, it's going to make my next point probably seem silly, but this book was just obviously huge for me. That's why I'm here. That's why we're talking right now. And I just can't believe that after reading this book, we've had conversations. I have a signed copy of my book. I feel like I'm friends with Marlon. I've gone on a road trip with G.I. Jewel. Joe, you and I were roommates one night in Albany because of shared room accommodations and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, I chickened out. I wanted to ask Joe a question.
Well, why don't you?
Well, anyway, I felt at the time I wanted to ask the question to get the same quote that you got in the book, which was where Joe told you that you know what to do, learn the words. I wanted to get him to say that to me, but I didn't. I didn't feel like I could ask the question. Joe, any thoughts?
Well, you mean how to become a better player?
Yeah.
Well, no one's going to become an expert without wanting to become an expert. And even if you want to become an expert, no one's going to become an expert unless what you're doing is fun. So you have to make learning the words fun. And the way to do that, well, one of the ways of doing that is practicing with alphagrams, Ziziva, Aerolith. Aerolith is absolutely one of the best ways that people can learn, how to decode words.
Shout out to Cesar.
Yeah. Aerolith.com, is it? Or I think
Org.
it's or aerolith.org. AEROLITH.org. Wonderful site. You can learn all sorts of words from that. But the other thing is, you don't want to go whole hog into it as if your life depended on it. This is really important. What you want to do is set, 20, 30 minutes a day, maybe, and you do that on Aerolith or any other way you want to do it. After a year of doing that, just 20, 30 minutes a day, suddenly you're going to realize that you've learned. You're going to look back and realize you know all these extra words. Then at that point, maybe you're motivated
I'm going to interrupt
spend
you, Joe,
a little more.
because my daughter, whom I love dearly, just walked over and said, "I need money." So,
Yeah, Joe, that is absolutely wonderful advice, and I think that anybody who wants to get better at Scrabble is going to do so based on that. I passed you the mic back
sweetie.
because I wanted you to say the words to me on camera.
You need to learn the words, Josh.
but let me say something too. It's
ahead.
the fact that people like you are here,
But yeah,
and all these other wonderful people between the ages of 12 and 30. No disrespect to anyone over 30, maybe 40 at this point since the book came out 15 years ago. But another gratifying thing about having written this book is that it brought in this wonderful, dynamic, engaged, interesting group of competitive, smart people. Like Will Anderson, our national champion, and like previous national champions, like Conrad Bassett-Bouchard.
absolutely.
Like Matthew Tunnicliffe, who's another national champion. And even though I kind of suck at this game at this point, I know, I'm being modest. I do kind of suck though. I take a great deal of pride in seeing these young people rise up and make this community more fun, more engaging, more competitive, more exciting, more dynamic.
Absolutely.
That's a thrill for me too.
That's one of the questions that I was going to ask Joe is what does Division I look like now compared to when you started with all these kids?
I would say, in terms of skill level or it's kids? Because, in 1980, when 2 years into studying Scrabble and I won the 1980 national championship, I think if you compare any of the top 50 players in Division I, plop them down in 1980, and they would have been first, second, or third. Any of the top 50. I mean, the skill level has astronomically just increased, and it's been so wonderful to watch.
I mean, Joe learned the dictionary by reading the dictionary, and now there are effective study aids that allow you to spend as much time as you want.
Yeah, although I beg to differ.
You did. I know. You codified the dictionary. You didn't just read the book.
Yes.
You broke it down, you broke
alphograms.
But you did it on paper as opposed to sitting down in front of a computer.
Yes,
and
we didn't have them then.
Right.
Well, gentlemen, on this celebratory night where we have a new national champion, I just can't imagine being happier with who I'm with right now, who I'm talking to, and just, I don't know. It's just all love up here. It's all love out in the community, and let's go celebrate. Thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure, Josh. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, good job.